Hello everyone, it's Magdalena, Wolf of Coins. Happy spring equinox. Happy Jare Gody. Today I'm taking you with me on a special trip to a sacred site called Joście. And I will talk about a spring equinox ritual from the area that I am from, actually. Today we drove only half an hour from our home, and the family on my father's side comes from a place that is also more or less half an hour drive from that place. Poland is peppered with miraculous rocks with divine feet pressed on them, round hollows or other markings. It is believed that the divine feet, so-called Boże Stopki, are footprints of Mother Mary, this is the majority, of rocks, Jesus or various saints, but there are also so-called devil's rocks here and there. People have worshipped sacred rocks since very ancient times. Even today, people believe that dew or rainwater taken from the hollows in those rocks have healing properties, or if you rub fern leaves on the surface, it will gain the healing properties. In some places, it is believed that a rock can control weather, like in Czerwonka Grochowska near Sokołów Podlaski. When the rock stands straight, the weather will be nice, and when it is moved by the people so that it was slanted, it would rain. Or a rock could protect a whole neighboring village, like a rock in Knorydy, south from Bielsk Podlaski. There is a sacred rock with Mother Mary's footprint and a spring with healing water there. The villagers believed that their rock saved their village during World War II, when all neighboring villages burned, but in Knorydy not even one building was destroyed. Still today, the rock is surrounded by votive crosses. The hollows, or footprints, were most probably created naturally, so they aren't a work of pagans. But it doesn't make them less sacred. On the contrary, these are real footprints of the Divine Mother, nature. I come from Masovia region in Poland. And the place that I'm taking you to is not very famous, but has a long and rich history, even if a bit sad. There is an ancient cemetery of the Lusatian culture, a culture of later Bronze Age and early Iron Age, to the east of Głupianka village. The Lusatians most commonly cremated their dead and buried them in ceramic urns. Local people call that dune, where the cemetery was, skorupki, which means potsherds. In the woods nearby, you can also find burial mounds called kurhans. So, according to the article that I read, there are supposed to be burial mounds. I don't know if they are these. That piece of paper there is irrelevant to the topic, but it's possible that in this area we have the burial mounds. And there's a huge wow. Oh wow. What's it called? You know, the house of the ants. There are so many of them that I hear them. Oh wow, like a, not a buzz, something like a buzz. So I shouldn't be standing here, probably. There's another mound here. And another home of ants. Ant hill? Yeah, an ant hill. Well, it certainly is a lovely place. This is my souvenir from the trip. I found this stone in the woods nearby. It is pinkish, actually. I like it a lot. Joście is a name both of a spring ritual and a sacred granite rock with hollows in it near Głupianka village. According to a local legend, when Jesus traveled the world, he rested on the rock and left round and oval marks of his elbows, knees, and chin. The rock was a center of worship until 1907, when by the command of a local Catholic priest, it was blown up and used to make stairs for a newly built church in the town of Kobiel nearby. The local people helped with the deed, transporting the rubble to the construction site. It actually took over 100 wagons full of rubble to remove it, but they didn't want to allow the parts with markings to be taken. A chapel of Saint Anne was built there in the place of the rock, and next to it the rest of the sacred rock lays to this day, secured with concrete. The rock was very large. You had to make 15 steps to circle around it. The bowl-shaped hollows were 3 centimeters or 1.2 inches wide and 1.5 centimeters or 0.6 inches deep. These were ancient. There were also newer markings with some symbols or letters and crosses. The etymology of the name Joście isn't clear. Some scholars see here the name of god Jarowit, diminutive Jasz, god of spring. Others link it to the word for eating and a hollow dish with dairy offerings, such as jasełko, jaśle, jaszczysko. Others interpret the name as a Lithuanian in origin from juosti, to belt, to gird, so maybe to circle a sacred place. From a 19th century record, we learn that among Sorbs and Slovenians, there used to be a ritual of visiting rocks with baskets of food around spring sowing time. Until 1970s, people from nearby villages performed a spring ritual called Joście without any priest participating. So how did the ritual look like? It took place on Easter Sunday, so around spring sowing and the equinox. From Głupianka village departed a festive procession. Women with one of them leading the singing, usually supplications to Mother Mary, then men, and at the back went the youngsters. In total, it was around 500 people from many villages. They gathered around the rock, and food from Easter baskets and money was left in the hollow of the rock, and for 1 hour people sang, prayed, and kissed the rock. The position of the female leader of chants was an important one, and probably this function belonged to a reputable elderly woman. One of sightseers from the 50s mentioned a leader walking supported by 2 young girls. After the ceremony, The gathered food was divided and given to beggars. Then most of the villagers went back, and the young enjoyed a dancing party in the village which lasted till morning. Only elderly women stayed to pray on the rosary together out loud. When the rock was destroyed in 1907, a brick chapel of St. Anne was erected in its place. But pieces of the rock were left, and the Joście ritual still performed. The rock was cleaned and the chapel whitewashed and decorated before the celebrations. Afterwards, the girls crawled around the rest of the rock 3 times, sunwise. The rock or the place it marked seemingly supported fertility. The procession was celebrated till 1983, until the local priest put an end to it. Since then, a regular mass is performed by a priest by the chapel, but the ceremony wasn't so popular anymore. In 1995, only several dozen people attended it, mostly from Głupianka village. And here I am, in 2023, a day before spring equinox, honored to visit Mother Earth's natural sanctuary, changed but not destroyed, for her sacred power runs deep, permeating the surroundings of this place. This power works on people who revere the earth, who touch her sacred body and pray or commune with her to their heart's content. Sława Ci, Matko Ziemio. When I entered the chapel, I found there a memorial book, and mostly there were supplications to Saint Anne or people drawing their hands to strengthen their friendship or relationship. But I also found records from people who are not Christian, who actually are pagan, and it touched me. It's amazing to see that you're not alone. Even though the rock was destroyed and there are crosses everywhere, there are people still coming to that place with the love for Mother Earth in their hearts. So this is it. I'm by the chapel and with the remnants of the stone of the rock that was very, very big. But now only this remains. It is very peaceful here. The weather is nice. And there's my son and husband in the background. So I need to go back because it seems that I lost my pendulum somewhere there. Maybe the spirits claimed it. If not, I'm gonna find it. Okay, so the pendulum is found. It was actually in my pocket. I don't know how this happened because I searched my pocket through. Obviously, strange things sometimes happen. And well, thank you so much for joining me on this trip. I'm saying goodbye to you from Joście. Bye. I think this might be cranes. Also, there is the singing from the church. You can hear it even here. Wow. Those sounds are amazing. I wonder if it's cranes or other birds.